Some of the photos we cover in this video are so incredible that you will have to see them for yourself to decide. From the Loch Ness Monster to the temples of Edfu, these photos scared the entire world. Here is a list of 10 things that scientists can't explain. Number 1. Disappearance of Flight MH370. Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 was an international passenger flight that disappeared from radar on March 8, 2014. It was flying from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing, China, and no one really knows what happened to it. Only the radar images that show the plane's course offer clues about what could have happened at the time. The disappearance of Flight 370 was the deadliest incident involving a Boeing 777 and, sadly, everyone on board is presumed dead. No one knows the official causes of the plane crash, but one possible explanation is that high-altitude decompression caused instrument failure. The flight crew last contacted air traffic control about 38 minutes after takeoff, as the plane was flying over the South China Sea. A secondary surveillance radar saw the plane disappear from the screen a few minutes later, and the reason for the disappearance has never been conclusively determined. The Malaysian military was able to track the plane for an additional hour after it disappeared from airport radars, but saw the plane deviate from its course toward the northwest. To the island of Penang. The search for the missing plane became one of the most expensive in aviation history and remains extremely puzzling today. Number 2. Colin Evans. A photograph taken in the 1920s, before the advent of digital technology, shocked society as it apparently depicted a levitating man. The image captures Colin Evans, a spiritual medium who held sessions in the dark, occasionally illuminating the scene with a flash camera. In the photo, Evans is suspended in the air, surrounded by onlookers who look at him in amazement. Critics argue that the photograph is staged, possibly with the use of hidden stands or cables. Supporters, on the other hand, consider the photograph as evidence of Evans' spiritual abilities. The levitation of Colin Evans serves as a historical reminder of humanity's fascination with the supernatural and the lengths people will go to demonstrate such phenomena. Regardless of opinions on the authenticity of the image, it remains an intriguing element of the story without explanation. Number 3. Incident at Dyatlov Pass. The incident at the Dyatlov Pass is one of the most mysterious events in modern history. In 1959, 9 experienced Russian tourists died under extremely mysterious circumstances in the Ural Mountains. Adding to the mystery are photographs found in the cameras of the members of the expedition. One of them shows a blurry figure in the forest line, often called the Yeti photo. Another haunting shot taken on the last night of the expedition captures a mysterious light or orb against the dark sky. While the incident itself remains largely unexplained, the disturbing photos give it vivid intensity, giving rise to theories about secret military experiments, attacks by indigenous people or supernatural entities. Number 4. Hook Island Sea Monster. The world of unfathomable stories is not limited to the Earth. The sea also holds many mysteries. One of them is the Hook Island sea monster, captured in a photograph taken in 1964 by Frenchman Robert Le Serrec while he was vacationing with his family in Australia. The photo shows a massive creature that resembles a tadpole and is estimated to be between 20 and 25 meters in length, lurking in the shallow waters of Stonehaven Bay on Hook Island. In the image, you can see a huge dark figure with a clearly distinguishable head and eyes and a sinuous body underwater. Many speculated that it could have been a surviving prehistoric marine reptile, similar to a plesiosaur or an unknown giant species of eel or stingray. Others suggested it could have been a carefully crafted hoax, possibly using a weighted sheet of plastic arranged to resemble a sea monster. Despite enduring skepticism, photography has captured the public imagination for decades. The Hook Island sea monster remains an enduring maritime mystery and a fascinating episode in the history of cryptozoology. Number 5. Spaceman. One of the most astonishing photographs in modern history was taken during an ordinary family outing in 1964. Jim Templeton, a firefighter from Carlisle, photographed his daughter in a field near the Solway Firth. When the photograph was developed, a figure resembling a spaceman unexpectedly appeared in the background. Apparently, he was a tall person dressed in white with a helmet or visor, standing with his back to the camera. Templeton insists that no one else was around at the time of the shooting. The film was even examined by Kodak photographers and the police, who found no signs of forgery. Experts have suggested that the spaceman was actually Templeton's wife, who was accidentally left in the frame with her blue dress overexposed and appearing white in the photograph. The helmet could have been her hair and her supposed visor, a shadow of her hair on her face. Despite substantiated explanations, photography continues to stimulate the imagination. It has been the subject of numerous television programs and documentaries, giving rise to speculation about aliens, time travelers, and interdimensional beings. The Solway Firth spaceman mystery remains an iconic piece of unexplained history. Number 6. Time travel. Sometimes the most intriguing mysteries are found in completely ordinary settings, as in the case of a 1930s photograph showing vacationers on the coast of British Columbia, Canada. Among the typical beach clothing of the time, one person stands out, giving rise to the mystery of time travel. This person is dressed in modern clothing, a t-shirt with a graphic design, shorts, and hairstyled more in keeping with the late 20th or early 21st century than the 1930s. This led to theories that the individual is a time traveler. However, experts offer a more mundane explanation. The modern t-shirt is believed to be a sweater with rolled-up sleeves and shorts or simply rolled-up pants, quite plausible for a hot day at the beach. The trendy hairstyle could also be caused by wind or wet hair. However, the photograph continues to generate debate and speculation. Despite possible logical explanations, this time traveler retains an aura of mystery. Whether a real time traveler or not, the image continues to challenge our understanding of history. Number 7. Dirigible. In 1911, a photograph was taken that would later spark a multitude of debates and speculation. He captured a massive airship apparently hovering over the city of Huntington, West Virginia. What is really puzzling, however, is that the construction of the airship appears quite advanced for its time, and its existence is not confirmed by any documents other than this photograph. The airship in the image has a streamlined shape, multiple propellers, and appears to be able to carry a significant number of passengers, which differs greatly from the primitive airships and low-capacity balloons widely used in the early 20th century. Furthermore, it predates the creation of the first Zeppelin-type airship in the U.S. by several years. There are numerous theories that try to explain this image. Some believe it is a high-tech invention by an unknown and talented inventor who was clearly ahead of his time. Others suggest it's a hoax or an early Photoshop setup. However, no signs of forgery have been found in the photograph, and the identity of the photographer and his motives remain unknown. Despite all the speculation, the 1911 airship photograph remains a historic find that defies simple explanation. It stands as a tantalizing clue to a mystery yet to be solved and a fascinating excursion into the history of aviation development. Number 8. Fairy circles. On the arid plains of the Namib Desert in Namibia, scientists and tourists marvel at an unusual natural phenomenon known as fairy circles. They consist of round patches of barren land surrounded by low grass, forming a honeycomb pattern when viewed from above. The diameter of these circles varies from a few meters to several tens of meters, and they are found in vast areas of Namibia. Local myths attribute these circles to divine intervention or the footsteps of supernatural beings, but scientific versions explain their appearance with various causes, from termites and plant competition to gas leaks and even radioactivity. Despite all these theories, the definitive reason for its appearance remains unknown. The magical circles of Namibia continue to provoke scientific debate and public curiosity, illustrating the enchanting mysteries that nature often hides from prying eyes. Number 9. The Loch Ness Monster. This spooky photo of the famous Loch Monster in Scotland has fueled a mystery that has been puzzling people for almost 1,000 years. Over the years, there have been over 1,000 encounters with Nessie, and they are recorded in an official record of sightings. The first report dates back to the year 565 AD, when a lily saint was said to have saved a man from the attack of a river monster. Rumors intensified in the 1930s when a reference to a Loch Ness monster appeared in the Inverness Courier. A man swore he saw a 25-foot-long, limbless creature cross the road in front of him and his wife. Although many monster sightings were debunked as imaginary tales, the legend still persists. Since then, stories of the monster have grown and developed, including fantastical images that look like Harry Potter-inspired beasts or fairy tale dragons. Recently, researcher Neil Gemmell used the monster's story as a lure for his research project. He announced that a gigantic aquatic creature could be responsible for these speculations. Some experts believe it is a giant eel, others think it is an unknown species. Although there are sightings and testimonies, there is no conclusive evidence to confirm the existence of this supposed river monster. Uncertainty and mystery continue to fuel the debate over its existence. Number 10. Machu Picchu. Many travel enthusiasts have been encouraged to follow the Inca Trail thanks to photos like these, which have inspired other incredible and amazing reactions. Nestled in the heart of the idyllic Andes Mountains in South America, Machu Picchu is the most spectacular Inca site and the subject of numerous archaeological debates. It is even more fascinating for historians and adventurers because it is not documented in the ancient chronicles of the Spanish conquistadors, although many other Inca sites are mentioned. It is never Machu Picchu. Even stranger is the mystery of the hidden town that some call the mythical cousin of Machu Picchu, located in Paititi, Peru. Some have mentioned the hidden Paititi with names such as the Lost City of Gold, El Dorado, or even a hidden secret capital of the Inca Empire. Additionally, there are rumors that it could have been a hidden secret capital of the Inca Empire with an intriguing and mysterious history. On the other hand, some curious minds have considered the possibility that Machu Picchu, in addition to being an important archaeological site, points to the vestiges of alien civilizations that could have inhabited the Earth in the past, which adds an element of intrigue and speculation to its history. Wouldn't you dream of having the opportunity to explore the majestic high-altitude mountains of Peru with their enigmatic hidden cities and discover more about the exciting history behind them? Number 11. Drop discs. Beneath the Bayan Corolla Mountains, which run through China and Tibet, lies a labyrinth of caves that are mysteriously interconnected. Its origin is unknown and scientists are not sure if it is an artificial or natural formation. Researchers have found inside these caves the buried bodies of some of the most unusual human-looking species ever found. These caves were accidentally discovered by a team of archaeologists in 1938. Initially, they thought they had found ape remains. However, it is well known that apes do not bury their dead. So which creature did those strange skeletons belong to? Comparisons have shown that they were neither human nor animal, at least not fully human. The skeleton had small limbs and very thin legs, but compared to their short and weak frames, these creatures had very large heads. A Chinese archaeologist and his team were inspecting the skeletons when they found something even stranger, a circular disc half buried in the cave floor. The disc was made of stone, but it had a hole in the center. On the disc there were inscriptions and a spiral groove around it with 2 rings. Upon closer inspection, it was discovered that these inscriptions appeared to be some type of hieroglyphs. However, this unusual language is not recognized by anyone, and not even ancient writing experts have been able to translate it. Another intriguing discovery are the carvings on the walls depicting the sun, moon, and stars linked together by small dotted lines. This discovery raises a question: are these creatures trying to communicate with us? It took 20 years for someone to translate the inscriptions on this album. The doctor announced that he had deciphered these signs were a story, but what he discovered was so shocking that the authorities refused to allow him to share his discovery with the world. More than 700 of these discs have been recovered, according to the doctor. According to him, they tell the story of a space probe that arrived on Earth from another planet and crashed in this region. Supposedly, the ship's inhabitants came from an advanced civilization with peaceful intentions. However, their more hostile neighbors made coexistence difficult and they had to flee to other worlds. The doctor's translation was hidden so that the citizens of Earth would not know that life forms exist in some parts of the universe that we have not yet explored. Number 12. Stonehenge. A Neolithic monument in the United Kingdom, has intrigued over the centuries. Imagine huge stones standing 4 meters high, weighing a staggering 25 tons each, forming a great circle on Salisbury Plain. Inside, a smaller ring embraces 2 vertical stones joined by a horizontal lintel. Stonehenge also has an amazing astronomical alignment with the sunrise during the summer solstice. Its origin and construction, with primitive technology, remain mysteries. The stones are believed to have been placed at the site around 2400 BC, but how they were transported and lifted remains enigmatic. Stonehenge was probably used as a burial site since 3000 BC, although its exact purpose remains unresolved. Number 13. The Mysterious Sphere of Betts. On March 27, 1974. The Best family saw a small fire in a bush near their home on Jacksonville's Fort George Island. His eldest son, Terry, discovered something that would change the family's life forever: a strange metallic sphere the size of a bowling ball. As a medical student, Terry took it home as a souvenir because of its unusual appearance. Her family didn't think much of it until Terry started playing the guitar near her. That's when something strange happened. The ball began to hum and shortly after showed other strange characteristics, such as rolling on its own, changing direction and stopping abruptly. Sometimes the sphere vibrates and emits a high-pitched sound that causes dogs to bark and people to cover their ears. This ball, which goes by names such as Best Sphere, Mysterious Sphere, or Fantastic Ball, began to gain popularity. The host of a local paranormal radio show validated the Best family's claims that the sphere moved and behaved strangely. He believed that this sphere was of extraterrestrial origin and that it must have been designed by an unknown civilization for an unknown purpose. Number 14. The Dendera Bulb. Speaking of Egypt, photographs of this strange object caused panic in the scientific world, and they have been struggling to discover the truth ever since. The photos were taken at the Temple of Hathor in Dendera, Egypt, and the markings on the tomb wall are called reliefs. Some earlier theories suggested that these reliefs represented ancient Egyptian technology. This was based on comparisons with similar devices such as lamps or tubes. However, recent research has challenged this interpretation and proposed new hypotheses about the meaning of these reliefs. For example, some studies suggest that they could be symbolic representations of abstract concepts or coded messages. These new theories have generated debate in Egyptology and have opened new doors for the investigation of the true function of these reliefs. Characters in the depictions could hold lighting devices, such as lamps or light bulbs. This is why the image in this photo is called the Dendera light bulb. Fringe theorists used this light bulb-shaped image to explain that the ancient Egyptians could to have been the first to discover electricity, which would have been useful to illuminate these dark tombs. However, no light bulbs or signs of electrical work have been found in Egyptian tombs. Do you think it is possible that light was invented in ancient times?